When you're right about everything, like I always am, admitting when you were wrong is hard. So this video took a little bit of time to make because of my ego kind of getting in the way. And then I realized I was right the whole time, and it made recording this super easy. This isn't going to be some big long-winded retrospective video essay. It's not going to be as long as my COD 4 video, just a casual look back at Black Ops Cold War in the context of current day. Because I do think my opinions on this game were pretty well founded when the game came out, especially as somebody who just enjoys playing public match multiplayer. Black Ops Cold War failed me in a lot of ways. So a few weeks ago, I live streamed it for your guys' pleasure. I wish the stream had done a little bit better view-wise, but that's kind of up to you guys. Hit that bell icon to get notified when I live stream. If you guys don't just want to listen to me yap in gameplay commentaries and you want me to be yapping live and talking about my opinions live and getting gameplay, having great victories, horrible defeats, the whole range of emotions that comes from playing online multiplayer, you should hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live. During this stream, however, I was sort of hit in the head with a realization that Black Ops Cold War is almost perfect, and it would be a game that I would love going back to if it weren't for one pesky annoying thing about it. It kind of sucks. I wish this game was boring. That's what this video is about. I wish Black Ops Cold War was an incredibly classic COD. After Modern Warfare 2019, it would have been really nice to play this game, or much nicer to play this game, had it have not had unnecessary, completely avoidable mechanics built into it. Starting with the gunplay. The time to kill in this game is annoyingly long with some weapons, and way too damn fast with others. Unfortunately, Call of Duty has not really been able to balance a long time to kill. The best they've done, in my opinion, is MW3 through Black Ops 7. I don't consider those long TTKs by any means, but longer than, let's say, like COD 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2. Slower than the OG days, but faster than Black Ops 4 and Cold War, which are our two outliers and two of the largest mistakes. Cold War and Black Ops 4 feel like they were made for like 4v4 competitive and not 6v6 public matches. In fact, it felt like such little thought went into the competitive casual side of COD and only into the competitive side of COD. When making this game, it was frustrating. You didn't have flinch on most of the weapons. And when you don't have flinch on the weapons and you're trying to increase the time to kill, you might think, hey, increase time to kill, no flinch, this is going to be super skill-based, but they still had to let COD weapons be COD weapons. Burst weapons killing in 1 to 2 bursts, shotguns one-shotting or two-shotting you, snipers killing you with shots to the upper chest. They still had to let COD be COD because you can't load up into Call of Duty with a DMR and be required to get 4 headshots. You can't use a bolt-action sniper rifle in Call of Duty and have to get headshots. You can't run a shotgun and have to land, 2 perfect... No. This isn't Halo, this isn't Apex, this isn't Fortnite. You should be able to round the corner and just kill somebody with a single pump shotgun round. That's the COD vibe, that's the COD feel. But they still extended the time to kill for like ARs and SMGs and other weapons, but because of the no flinch, certain things like LMGs, which deal more damage over range, became incredibly difficult to deal with. Head glitches were difficult because if somebody was pre-aiming you, you couldn't flinch them off target even if your aim was better than theirs. Burst rifles were still going to take you out faster than you could react. DMRs were going to take you out faster than you could react. It was the same issue in Black Ops 4. Again, in a limited weapon pool in competitive, super great. When playing pubs, nightmarish. If Black Ops Cold War had Black Ops 2's time to kill, the game would have been so much more enjoyable. Or Black Ops 3's time to kill or whatever. A more traditional 100 health time to kill. Then suddenly all of the head glitch positions that just are littered on these maps wouldn't be quite so daunting, and you could even keep the low to 0 flinch with a fast time to kill. But low flinch was such a good idea on paper. People hate flinch, we get rid of flinch. This is the problem with Call of Duty game development. They go, hey, the players are annoyed with XYZ, so let's address XYZ. But sometimes the things that annoy us are still sort of essential for some level of game balance. You can remove flinch and remove random headshots and feeling irritated in a gunfight, but then you create an issue where you have a complete total DPS meta because taking someone off guard doesn't matter if their gun deals more damage than yours and your bullets are less effective than in previous Call of Duty games. And that's what happens when you remove flinch. Your bullets are doing less to enemies, so taking on multiple opponents, fighting somebody with a faster killing weapon, became damn near impossible if their aim was good. I say damn near impossible, but obviously it was possible, and there were players that were very good at this game's public match system, but I just could never really get a rhythm with it. Personally, I think if you would have just made this game play like Black Ops 2, but with the toughness perk built in, I think it could have been a really fun game. The weapons handle nicely, the animations are snappy, and I'm not going to get into the gunsmith being not as good as the game before it. The gunsmith is sort of repetitive, and you just kind of pick the best attachment combination, which is pretty much the same for every gun. Whatever. There's a bunch of unnecessary cons and pros that don't make sense, and whatever. But that's not the problem. The problem is your bullets are less effective, and even though the game seems to be built around positioning and head glitching, they get rid of flinch and increase the time to kill, making gunfights feel like a chore and multiple opponents feel like a travesty. So, going forward, score streaks. These score streaks don't reset when you die. You build up a multiplier by getting more kills without dying, and that helps you get to your streak sooner. Once you get and call in that streak, it's then on a cooldown timer before you can start earning it again. They use the system to sneak specialist weapons back into the game, because without resetting on death, having a hand cannon that you just slowly build up score towards and a multiplier keeps you going towards it faster, that's just the hand cannon from Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3. They had score streaks in the game with a system that doesn't reset when you die and is based on multipliers. It was a clever way to give people specialist weapons so that even if you're playing pretty average on a game of domination, around the 5 to 7 minute mark, you're going to be able to call in something, whether it's a hand cannon or a napalm strike, or, by the end of the game, call in a chopper gunner if you are a above average score earning player, even if you're not staying alive. So the stakes were just really not there. And if you were, just having kind of a back and forth match and you were really close to the chopper gunner, but you keep getting killed, it's just sort of this rush to get as much score as possible and just score cheese as much as possible and objective hound and soak time as much as possible just to get that last little bit of score, because they can't really knock you off your helicopter. They can only impede your progress. This was a lack of respect for going on streaks, a lack of respect to the player's skill, and putting the streaks on a cooldown after calling them in is like, well, you didn't want to keep earning those streaks, right? If score streaks in this game were traditional, where they reset on death, they have a reasonable score requirement, and they can loop and stack on each other, I honestly think this would be a really fun COD game to go back to. Suddenly the simple maps wouldn't bother me as much. The amount of head glitch positions and the crazy damage differences in rifles wouldn't be a thing, and I could just earn streaks normally. See, I loaded into this game and I kind of liked that it was a little bit slower. It was a little bit boring in absolutely a good way. It almost felt like a modern remaster of Black Ops 1 was just under the surface here, but unfortunately, it's like they panicked at the last second and were like, okay, do the increased time to kill, cut the flinch out of the game, regardless of our map design not accommodating for that at all, and just come up with something stupid for the score streak system. Just basically do the score streak system from that one thing you could do in COD World War II with whatever that basic training was that allowed you to just not reset them on death. Everybody really hated that. Everybody thought requisitions, I think that's what it was called. Everyone thought that was a bad idea in COD World War II. Let's make that the default, but worse in our game. Whatever happened there sucks. It kind of feels like with Modern Warfare 2, like Infinity Ward was making this like really tactile, tactical, immersive game. And then like somebody came in at the last minute and was like, actually, we need you to simplify out your maps. We need you to remove this. It just felt like a half-baked idea. And this game feels like it was a complete, solid, classic COD game, but at the last second, they were worried about it being derivative or outdated or just not interesting, and decided to make serious changes to Call of Duty's gameplay without balancing the game around it at all. And I'm sorry, you have to balance the game around your new decisions. If the streaks were completely different from older Call of Duty streaks, if the maps were completely different from older Call of Duty maps, whole different design philosophy surrounding the game's streaks and map design and movement mechanics, maybe a different time to kill, reducing and removing flinch, and a non-resetting streak system could have worked, but that's not what they did. So you're left playing a game that just feels kind of annoying. Like there's a good game hidden under here somewhere, and I just can't find it. I just can't get to it. Before I end this, let me put this in terms that Modern Warfare 2019 haters will understand. Imagine how you felt playing Modern Warfare 2019 and thinking, gosh, if the minimap was just normal and Dead Silence was a perk, and we had score streaks instead of kill streaks, encouraging people to play the objective, this would be such a better game. It's like that. Like Cold War, I think kind of nails everything else. Its perks, its guns. I don't even hate its gunsmith as much as I used to. Its created class is actually pretty solid. Its map design is not horrible, but it is because of the gunplay. The streak system makes staying alive and doing well feel weird, messy, and arbitrary. Again, it's like a really thin, paper thin wall between a really, really good COD game and what Black Ops Cold War is. I like this game's campaign, its zombies, and its pro scene, its competitive scene was entertaining, and I think actually pretty well done. But unfortunately, I like team deathmatch, kill confirmed, domination, hardpoint. I like capture the flag. I like classic Call of Duty multiplayer. And this game drops the ball here. So this is me saying, gosh, I wish Black Ops Cold War was a bit more boring. I would want to go back to it more often. Thank you guys so much for watching this. And don't forget, an iconic game knows when to shut the fuck up and do what it does best. Goodbye.